more cold storage
Testing.
in there.
Okay.
429 by the computer. And Jackson will be in, I'm sure. He'll come floating in.
Fashionably late.
Is he floating? Wow. That's unbelievable.
Stop the presses.
His timeliness is, that is amazing timeliness.
Look at this guy.
He's something, isn't he? Let's see your watch. Let me see your watch. You don't have a watch. I don't either.
4:29. You got time to spare. Good man. Time to spare.
I was just really talking you up. I wasn't bad enough.
I'm sure everybody was in the building phase.
Yeah, he won't be here for.
Not giving you a hard time.
Effort too.
Yeah.
Firing it after
Okay.
his ambush.
And then they have,
What's that?
they have their little.
Commissioner?
How are you?
Good.
I get separated down here.
Well, I understand why.
Stepchildren.
Okay, we ready? Let's go ahead and call to order the Tippecanoe County Area Plan Commission Executive Committee for January 7th, 2026. First on the agenda is approval of minutes. If
Jackson Bogan?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
that's what I said. No, the first on the agenda is the roll call.
Jackson Bogan? Present. Larry Leverins, Diana Looper?
Here.
Tom Murtaugh?
Present.
Kathy Parker? Jerry Reynolds, Gary Schroeder.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Jackson, if you could read for us, please.
I move to approve the minutes from the December 3rd, 2025 public hearing as submitted.
I second it.
Motion is second to approve the minutes. Any comments or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. New business, we'll hear the first case.
I move to hear and vote on resolution PD 26-01.
I second it.
Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda Esposito, APC staff. So these are the final detailed plans, including construction and final plat for the final phase of the redone 3, 4, and 5 of Provenance. The location map is here on your screen, so you can see it is in the middle of the overall Provenance project, just the smallest part of this particular PD. This one was approved back in November of 2024 by APC, and then West Lafayette City Council approved the rezone in February of this year, 25. This area is unimproved as of yet, but, just to the north is the first and second phases of Provenance. So at this point, this is for the clubhouse. So you can see here the footprint of the clubhouse up in the left-hand corner of the block. Behind it, you have some outdoor amenity spaces and some walking paths. Greg from Old Town is here. He can probably talk a little bit more about what that amenity space is going to include. But they do meet all of the conditions from the preliminary plans, and once these are approved and recorded, we do have the bonding already. They can apply for improvement location permits. So we're recommending approval of this resolution.
Very good. Thank you, Amanda. Petitioner, the representative, please.
Hi, good evening. Greg Koziel, Old Town Companies, 525 North End Drive, Carmel, Indiana. Thank you so much for hearing me today, asking the committee for the review and approval of our Phase 5. It is a smaller clubhouse that will serve Phase 2 of our development, the existing residential area of Providence, as well as Phase 3 and 4 of the multifamily, and then Phase 6 of the residential. It does not serve Phase 1 Providence. So together, that'll be a combined HOA that serves the community. Within this development, you'll have a shared fitness center, a pool, outdoor grill features. The interiors aren't really shown, but you'll have a kitchenette and some good viewing places to watch some Purdue football games. So really excited about this development. We did recently get our FAA approval on this, so that's squared away. It's not one of the taller buildings on site, but works well with the landscape features of the development and fits right in. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to comment? Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, we have a yellow ballot.
They denied.
Yeah, they do. Wild card.
You have 5 ballots for approval.
Very good, thank you.
Looks like next on our agenda is the
Amazing how many IU fans are out
public hearing. We have no items. Let's get to the,
Approval of the January.
thank you, Jackson. Go for it.
Under the approval of the January APC public hearing agenda, I move that the following subdivision petition be placed on the January 21st, 2026 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda at petitioner's request. Placement thereon being without reference to compliance or noncompliance with the adopted subdivision ordinance. S 5318 Dayton Road subdivision, major preliminary. S 5319 Bower Ridge Estates subdivision, major preliminary. And S 5320 Enclave Klondike, major preliminary.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the following rezone petitions be placed on the January 21st, 2026 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda. Z 3016 Parkview Health System, Inc., I3 and/or OR to MR. Z 3017 City of West Lafayette, R1 to NB. And Z 3018 JHS Investments Group, LLC, NB and R1 to GB.
I second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Are we on to approval of the January ABZA
Yes, please.
public hearing agenda? I move that the following petitions be placed on the January 28th, 2026 Area Board of Zoning Appeals public hearing agenda. BZA 2217 Dunbar Electric, BZA-2218 KCB Giles, and BZA 2219 Heber Real Estate.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Determination of variances.
I move the following requests for variance from the Unified Zoning Ordinance are not requests for use variances, prohibited from the consideration by ordinance and statute. Number 2026-01 Walmart Real Estate Business Trust, number 2026-02 Triple R LLC, number 2026-03 Triple R LLC, and number 2026-04 Triple R LLC. Number 2026-05, Triple R LLC, number 2026-06, Triple R LLC, number 2026-07, Triple R LLC, number 2026-08, Triple R LLC, number 2026-09, Triple R LLC, number 2026-10, Triple R LLC, number 2026-11, Tippecanoe Land Holding, Inc., number 2026-12, Tippecanoe Land Holding, Inc., number 2026-13, Aaron Walker, and number 2026-14, Louise Jaquez Cana Properties.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? That motion eventually carries. Review of the approval of the December budget report.
I move we approve the December 2025 budget report as submitted.
I second it.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we closed out the year with some kind of final equipment expenses, signs, et cetera, and with no encumbrances. Other than that, nothing really unusual. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments for Ryan? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Any other business? None?
Move to
Last
adjourn.
motion. So we're adjourned, and we'll start here in a few minutes, Amanda. So, okay, good. So I will call to order the Tippecanoe County Area Plan Commission Ordinance and Bylaw Committee for January 7, 2026. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes from December 3rd, 2025 meeting.
I second it.
So a motion, a second. Corrections or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Updating height requirements in the R3W and R4W. Kathy.
So we discussed this last month. This is at West Lafayette staff's request that we change the way height of buildings is measured in R3W and R4W. Instead of taking it to 14 feet as measured from the I see, I can't even remember, vertical distance from the lowest point of the average finished ground level all around the building to the finished floor of the upper story. It's just too complicated. So we would like to change that to just a straight 40-foot measured from the ground to the highest peak of the roof. So in your packet is an ordinance that I put together. It's basically changing 4 sections of the ordinance. I did find NBU, maximum building height, in university proximate, only for multifamily, also had that strange height measurement. So I'm changing that as well. So, any questions?
Questions from I think it's pretty straightforward and makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it, and that's just a very old standard. Any comments from the audience on that? So if we have no questions, I assume we'd like a motion to send that to the Plan Commission with a positive recommendation as presented.
And I apologize. I just thought of a question, and I was not at the last meeting, so I apologize for that as well. But so what happens if the highest point of that building also has a section that's below that the ground level is actually has some basement area? Do you see what I'm saying? That or is there's a drop off, let's say, and that's also the highest area of the building itself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to cause a problem down the road?
So the way the ordinance works is it's measured from the front, wherever the front of the building is. And if that front is on a hill, we average that.
Okay.
And then we take it up from that point, 40 feet.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And they would still be able to vary that, by the way.
So I take that motion to send this to Plan Commission with positive recommendation as presented.
So moved.
I second it.
So I have a motion and a second to send that to Commission as presented with positive recommendation. Any other comments? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. What's next for upcoming meetings?
We have ADUs first.
Okay, did I miss that? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I checked too many. I'm in a hurry, I guess. ADUs.
We're almost done.
There is. I've got it tuned in.
8:30.
Thank you.
All right. Evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Nathan McBurnett, APC staff. So this is continuing a discussion item from last month. Tom, you weren't present, so we wanted to bring it back up. There's no ordinance or anything. It's just a point of discussion. We've gotten an increasing amount of attention from people who want to do ADUs, basically. But in pretty much every case, they think our current regulation allows too small of an ADU, or they're going to be pursuing potentially a variance to increase the size. So since the idea was for this to try and facilitate a by right development of ADUs rather than them going through a public hearing, we're exploring whether you all would be amenable to increasing that size requirement. So between last meeting and this meeting, I looked up some of the other ADU regulations across the state. And I've got a collection of them here about how they regulate size. Ours is kind of middle of the road by design. You'll see some that allow a larger ADU, you'll see some that are a bit more restrictive. But the main kind of questions that were posed to the committee last month were, are there any implications that we're not thinking of if size is increased? Like, if you have 2 full-size single-family homes on a single property, if somebody were to get a variance basically for size, are there financing implications to that? And then do we want a cap at all? Those sorts of things. So just open to discussion.
I'll wait and see if Tom has had any inquiries from people. And as I was thinking through this, is what you said, you have a range from what we currently have to none, no size limit, and then I'm trying to think what kind of problems might that pose if someone ends up actually building 2 residences on one property. Okay, they do that, but what happens 10 or 20 years from now when they want to separate those properties? Does that become an issue, potential issue? Or is that something we need to,
Yeah, I would just say they're probably not always going to be able to separate them. Sometimes they will be able to do a minor subdivision or a parcelization, but I'm sure there will be times when they can't.
And it's not uncommon, at least in the city where a property's had two structures on it separate. So I don't know the answer to that. I was just thinking of a potential, is that some reason we might not want to do that?
In which zones, if I may ask, ag?
Yeah, A, AW, AA, and RE are the only zones where this is permitted right now. Yeah.
I guess my question would be is, do we want a second home to be built as a ADU? And so I think, Gary, your question there is, I think you have to limit the size, otherwise we open ourselves up to putting 2 homes on one lot without doing the parcelization, or did you say a minor subdivision?
Yeah, they would be subverting the subdivision
That's what I mean.
ordinance.
It would open it up to all of a sudden now we've got.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember some of the rules. Does it have to be utility connected to the main structure? Did the electric need to come from that? Or it can have its own separate?
That was originally discussed, and we kind of nixed that. It's up to, the primary thought was with septic, and so that's up to the health department, it's up to them.
Okay.
And current size is 750, is that?
Yeah, 750 max. That can be varied, though. So they can do larger if they go through the BZA and get approval. Right. Yeah.
750, and that has to be above, or can it be on the main level as well?
750 square feet of the livable area, wherever that may be.
That can be down and up, so first floor and second floor.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to be above a garage. It doesn't, I'm just refreshing myself.
Yep. It can be detached, attached, or it can be like integrated into the home.
Yeah. And refresh my memory, can it be separate from the main home, or does it need to be connected?
Yeah, it can be detached, it can be built on, like, as an addition to the main home, or it could be like a basement or garage conversion.
Okay. A detached structure.
Well,
yeah.
Most of what I had heard about prior to doing this was a unit above a three-car garage, a detached three-car garage.
What happens if I own a home with an ADU, but I'm selling? What happens then? Do I kick out my tenants? What does that do to the price of the home? I don't know. I've got questions.
It's a great question.
I was thinking it could not be a rental unit.
I was going to say, it's not a rental, it has to be.
It has to be.
It can be.
The primary residence has to be occupied.
Right.
Either one. Either one can be occupied by the property owner.
Okay,
But the
fair.
property owner has to live on site.
Yes,
So you
that's
can rent one of
So
them.
you can rent it out, okay?
Yep. Mhm.
But when you're selling a property with an ADU on it, it goes all together. You can't just sell part of it.
So you
You'd
gotta
be
sell-
selling the ADU as well. So it would be up to you and the potential buyer to work out what happens to that rental unit, I guess.
It'd be subject to any leases that they have, which would go with the sale, just like on the west side. If they have a lease, you buy that with the lease in place. If it doesn't, then you negotiate.
Don't worry, I won't be doing any of that anyway.
Just maybe to give a little bit of context, so when people have been inquiring about this, they've been thinking about building a brand-new home on their property, and in some cases, they want a brand-new home that's larger than their existing home. So we've had to kind of rethink how we're approaching this and thinking of the existing home now as the ADU because it's smaller, and then that new home as the kind of the primary dwelling unit. So one person in particular is
That's
considering.
not the intent here now.
Right. And we're seeing similar things with people who want to do like an Airbnb situation, because Airbnbs are not allowed in an ADU right now. So they're like, okay, well, if I live in the ADU, can I do an Airbnb in my main home, which is not addressed by the ordinance right now. So there's some things that need to be possibly tweaked outside of size as well.
And remind me what GFA means?
Ground floor area,
Okay,
yeah.
ground floor living area.
Not necessarily, just the GFA of the primary dwelling, so that could include an attached garage or something like that. Right? Is that right?
It's different when we use GFA for lot coverage percentages, because then we are looking at only different. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember. Because GFA, we use that to determine lot coverage, and in that case, we are only looking at ground floor area, so.
Is it a defined term?
Yes.
GFA?
Yeah,
Gross floor area.
I don't have the ordinance here.
For some reason, I thought we talked about livable
Yeah.
area, but that may have got changed. Did we?
It seems like, I
Yeah.
thought that was
Just
a
thinking
conversation.
the livable space.
We're getting the ordinance.
We talk about livable area for the ADU, like that's the 750 only includes the livable area. So they can have like an attached garage that's not included in the 750 for the ADU.
So what,
Yep.
so when you say that we're being flooded with these requests, like,
Did you say flooded?
yeah, I mean, if we take it to 1,000, or are they wanting 2,500?
Gross for.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I know some people they literally want a full-sized home.
Yeah, that's not the intent of this.
Right.
And
So,
I mean, I think I could easily argue a mother-in-law's suite or a father-in-law's suite at 1,000 square feet. I could get behind that, but any more than that, go through the process and build a separate home.
Yeah, or 1,000 square feet, and if they want to exceed that, they apply for a variance.
Yes, good call.
okay. So you're thinking possibly upping it to something like 1,000.
Yeah.
And then, do you want it to be variable? Do you want to, if somebody applies for a variance for size, can they then do to any potential size, or do you want there to be a cap that's not variable?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, we should probably have a cap. I mean, and maybe that's a percentage of the primary. No, I don't know that I like that either.
Yeah.
Before we go too far, I didn't know if Mary had any comments before we make decisions. You got any thoughts on this that you came to share or not? Sometime I'll ask for public comment if you have any.
I do not, I'm gathering information.
Okay.
Because I believe it's going to be an issue downstate.
Okay.
Oh, it is?
Is that right?
Yep.
So there's potential legislation in regard to ADUs? Wow, in what respect, meaning like that it wouldn't allow local entities to?
There's always a push for less local control,
Yeah.
as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets back to something that we had before the meeting started about, once you've got something locally, the state tends not to mess with it. But
So what would be the maximum we would?
I mean,
1,200
I
square
was gonna
feet gets you
say-
a pretty nice two-bedroom,
yeah,
two-bath.
you look at floor plans at 1,200 square feet, and you can, I mean, that accommodates your in-laws on the farm.
So are you suggesting then we should push the limit to 1,200 and then not do
No, I
a
don't-
variance, not allow a variance?
I think that still, as I'm sitting there thinking now, because of a floor plan, I'm more of the 750 max 1,000.
And can't
like-
vary, and what he's saying, that's our limit, but then you can't vary beyond this.
You can't
point.
vary beyond it, then you go
Absolute
through the
maximum.
normal process. To,
We're putting a limit on, you can't vary past this, is what I think we're talking about.
Correct.
Okay.
yeah, so
But you
I'm
think you think it should be 750 and 1,000, so 1,000 is the max? You can't vary over 1,000 square feet?
and it goes back to my earlier comment about, you know, a home is a home. If you're building a home, I feel like that should be more of the standard process to go through and build that home, whether it be parcelization or, and I'm open for discussion on it, I'm just noodling it.
can I just throw out, does it matter if you have a primary residence that is 12,000 square feet? A big one? Does that matter?
And you go guest house
I
type deal, right?
I don't think it does, in my mind, for an ADU. But can anybody tell me the dimensions of a 3-car garage? What?
40 by
30 by 20? Or 32 by 30?
garage.
Well,
30 by 24.
24 by 24 would be a two-car garage, right? Roughly.
Say it again, ma'am.
24 by 24 would be
Yeah.
a two-car garage.
32 by 20, or
So
36
32
by
by
20.
24? So what's that square footage?
no, 36 by 24.
36 by 24?
785.
That's 780.
Is that right?
Well,
Well,
guessing.
if 24 is two-car, you add another 12, you have,
Yeah.
36, right?
yeah. Okay, that's a good size, 36 times.
So that's 864 square
Yeah.
feet. So
I guess I
And
want
we-
to go back to the flooding of inquiries that we've had on this. And I don't mean to, but why are we talking about, it? Like what is it that's driving this right now?
Every request we've gotten so far, and by flood, if you consider
I'm being a smart
at
aleck.
10 most,
Yep.
right? In every, I want to say, every single case, 750 has been the thing holding them back. It's been too small. And so we can either keep going to the BZA if people want to pursue this, or they don't pursue it. The intent was to facilitate development of ADUs. And so if people are seeing the 750 and they don't want to do it, then why do we have it, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Did they
And
give you-
that kind of goes back to, this was really written with the intent of it being in urban areas.
Right, yeah.
So we were not writing this with the intent of it being in a rural area, and that's what we have now. So 750 seems a little bit on the small side for rural areas.
Did they give you any idea of what size they wanted to do?
Somebody, one of them said 1,200. Again, one person said that they basically wanted a full-size home, right? Their primary dwelling was 1,000 square feet, so then 1,000. So yeah, I don't know, it's some people haven't been as clear what they're comfortable with.
But what we have now they could still apply for a variance. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are there counties that you know of that have had this for a long time, that have a track record and a history and a story to tell that we might learn from?
I know Monroe County, so where Bloomington is, I think they've had theirs in place for over 10 years. To be honest, I'm not sure how long all these other examples, these are all area plan commissions, by the way, how long they've all had theirs in place.
I do like the Boone County language in regard to it being in a basement. That it can be the entire building footprint. But, I mean, other than that, I would propose we up the 750 to 1,000 and let it be varied up to 1,200. What do people think about that?
That's pretty close.
You mean those two are too close?
Too close, yeah.
So 1,500?
Either 1,500 or just, yeah.
Because 1,500 is getting into a decent-sized home.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking of that as a ranch, right? So you put 1,500, not two-story. That sprawls out pretty good.
I mean, my first home was 940 square feet.
True, and I was thinking that, those are 3-bedroom.
Those are 3-bedroom. Yeah.
Or smaller than.
Yeah, I was.
Man, probably a really, really long time ago.
Paid $12,000.
But, so, I mean, are you wanting that? Like, so,
Yeah.
Are you wanting a 1,500 square foot ranch? Or a 1,200 square foot ranch? Is that, I'm not saying one's right or wrong, I'm just food for thought.
I mean, that is a 20% variance, though.
Yeah, it's okay, I can go with that.
But
I think it's too big, but I like the basement stipulation too. If it's the basement, the entire building footprint. Other than that,
But you think in a rural setting, that's too big?
I don't know. I'm wondering about, what's that? I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. I think that's a whole extra house.
Well, but when the folks that I've spoken to, and again, I haven't been flooded with folks asking about this, but I think virtually all of them, they wanted to do it above a garage. And I think, and that 864 number is kind of
Small, it's not big enough for a 3-car, yeah.
well, I mean, I
That is a
think
three-car.
that is a 3-car,
Okay.
if they do a second floor on top of it.
That's a good point.
So I wouldn't want to go smaller than that. So that's why I think we need to push it to 1,000.
The 900 or 1,000 for that, and then variance up to
1,200.
So if it's my daughter lives in the upstairs of this cute little house in Providence. I don't know what the square footage is. But maybe that could be the same language as the basement portion. I don't know if maybe it depends. If it's a whole other building, maybe it's got a different square footage requirement.
So if it's where did I see the detached unit, it could be the entire footprint of a detached garage unit?
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, Tom, I'm thinking rather than having like two square footage thresholds, which could be a little confusing in the ordinance, maybe just have a percentage and then have that max square footage in the definition, which would make it not variable. So whatever ultimate max you want, and then if they want something that's more than 50% of their primary dwelling, then they can get a variance for that, rather than saying limit to 1,000, but actually a limit to 1,200.
100, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be, so you're saying, repeat all that again, so.
So because if we want to make something non-variable, we have to put it in something outside of Chapter 2 or 4, which would be probably Chapter 1, the definition. So if we put a max square footage in the definition, but then we go to Chapter 4, where all of these regulations are, and we list a different square footage that's variable, that could be confusing. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you can do a percentage that's variable up to X square footage that's not variable, that would be a little bit more clean, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. So, and we currently have 50%. Do we think that's a good number?
Do we care?
If it's the smaller of, the lesser of?
And it is 50% of the gross floor area, so it includes ground floor and upstairs.
So 2,000,
Garage.
It is gross floor area.
so for example, a 2,000 square foot home could have a 1,000 square foot ADU.
Right. But if they wanted an 1,100 square foot ADU, then the variance comes into play.
And you can still put a max of 1,200.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so then.
That works.
Just because I know everybody wants to be here more. Do you want to change it from 50%? Do we care if we have a 1,200 square foot house and they want to build a 1,200 square foot ADU? Do we want the percentage to be 50%, 100%? I mean, because by that, if they've got a 1,200 square foot home and they want to build an ADU, by what we just said, that would allow them to build a 600 square foot ADU. Do we care? Meaning, or are we okay with them building 1,000, or, meaning, do we need to change the percentage to allow them to build a larger ADU from a smaller current primary residence?
What do you mean?
Yeah, building code does have a minimum square footage requirement too, so I think if it's under 750,
If it's under 751, that's the square footage for a single-family home.
yeah. So anything below 750 would fall into tiny home territory,
Which they have a separate code for.
separate building code for that.
So we currently have a minimum of 400. So you're
Yes.
saying if somebody chose to do one at 400, it's going to fall under the tiny home
Right,
building?
And are tiny homes allowed as ADUs?
sure,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And that was the original intention, was to keep the ADU under the threshold for a single-family home within that 400 to 750.
Yeah. So how does, if somebody's building an estate, like the one being built on Haggerty, they want a guest house, how are they doing that? Can you do that? You've got a single parcel and you want to build a 12, let's say a 2,500 square foot guest house. How does one do that? Is that a separate parcel?
Depends on the zone. I don't know what the Haggerty property is zoned, but, right?
Okay, so is there an existing house on this property on Haggerty?
Well, I mean, the gentleman's building quite an estate that has,
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if he's labeling one of these
Yeah.
structures a guest house or not, but, I mean, he has several structures, maybe 3 or 4 structures on the property.
I know in the past, the building commissioner would I think a building has to have a kitchen and a bathroom to qualify as a dwelling. So I think people have gotten around that in the past by, oh, we're not going to put in a kitchen or something, you know. So.
Because that goes to what you're asking, so. But I, again, if they want to build something like that, it's not an ADU. It's a guest house, you know.
I don't know. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm okay with, I think, where we are with the
Sure,
the
we can always-
50%.
We can always change it if we keep getting flooded with these things.
I don't mean where we are now, I mean with our discussion.
Okay. So 1,200 as the max that would then be put in the definition, which is not variable. And then
Yes.
just the percentage in chapter 4,
Exactly.
basically. Okay.
Can we add the basement language, though, as well?
Oh, from Boone County?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, there are a few changes that need to be made to this ordinance, like small changes, so it can all go in like a,
I guess I need to make that in the form of a motion, don't I?
Well, if we'll, yeah, I think, and we're going to delete the last part of that, the last part of the Boone County, whichever is smaller, all that stuff we're not going to include. It's just the top. You can do 1,200 feet or
Exactly.
the basement entire footprint. I think that eliminates people getting variances. There's your number. Is that what we're saying? Or are you going
No.
to include the second part of that language?
Just the second part. In other words, I guess my motion would be, I'll make the motion that we allow 50% of the GFA, the lesser of 1,000 square feet or 50% of the GFA. And if in a basement, then the entire building footprint, regardless of square footage. But I don't know how to do that in regard to the variance, you know, allowing up to 1,200.
we just put the square footage, I mean, we can put all of that language in the definition, or we can just put the square footage cap in the definition. Right now, everything's in chapter 4, basically,
Okay.
which is variable.
So do I need to add anything to my motion? Or no? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a motion that somebody's going to restate.
I
Yes,
second it.
Nathan's going to restate it.
Anybody can restate it.
All right, so what I've heard is, the motion is the lesser of 1,000 square feet, 1,000 square feet or 50% of the ground floor area of the primary dwelling, unless it's in the basement of a primary dwelling, then it would be the entire square footage, ground floor area.
Correct.
Okay.
And the maximum in the ordinance would be 1,200 square feet?
In the definition.
In the definition, okay. So someone could get a variance for 200 square feet.
Okay, up to.
Maybe you missed that.
Okay, so we have 1,000 square feet and 1,200 square feet in the regulation.
We're upping it we're changing it from 750 to 1,000.
Okay.
A variance.
We're capping the variance.
Okay, so in the definition be in no case greater than 1,200
Exactly.
square feet?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that works. So we have a motion that we think we understand. Do we
I
have a second
second
for
it.
that? Pardon me? So we have a second. Any discussion, further discussion on that? My only comment is, do we want people coming back for a variance for 200 square feet? I mean,
I don't personally think we need the 1,000 square feet language, but,
just make it 1,200, period.
I
No variance.
and put that in the definition.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm,
Up to 1,200.
right, in no case greater than 1,200 square feet.
Okay. I can live with that.
So is it going to be 50% of the footprint?
Yes. Well, the lesser of.
The lesser of?
So I'll amend my motion to state that the maximum size of an ADU will be the lesser of 1,200 square feet or 50% of the GFA. Or in the case of the ADU being in the basement of the primary residence, it could be the entire building footprint.
Right. And do you want the 10% lots area on there? I'm not sure I understand that. No, we don't need it.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's basically Boone County without 10% lot area.
Yeah, it is, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's plagiarism.
That's what we do.
We just gave him credit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's our motion as amended.
I second it.
Okay, now further discussion on that. So if hearing none, are we ready to send this to the full commission and ordinance committee? Or, I mean, ordinance form, or do we need to see it? I don't think we need, do we need to see it again? I think it's basically Boone County without 10%.
We've talked it to death, yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do to try to get it right.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's okay. Anyway, any other discussion? So your motion includes sending that to the full commission for approval?
Correct.
I'm
Yes, it
trusting.
does.
So,
Yes.
okay, so we have that motion. If there's no further conversation, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. Good job, Nathan. Yep. If I'm on track, it's what's next for upcoming meetings.
Yeah, this is our new item to kind of give you a window into the, next couple of months or so. It's also kind of a follow-up to the director's report where we kind of talk about what's going on with, administrative officers meeting, which is sort of leads to this place. So February, we're going to kind of bring back the lot coverage. That's what we were told to bring that back from December's meeting, to bring that back to February, to give, I think, our friends at Bagel a chance to chew on it a little bit and bring some, unless they're prepared to chat about it now. And then March and April, we're going to be our solar, big meetings where we're going to advertise and, be able to present the draft ordinance and have kind of public discussion and comment in advance of Plan Commission.
Okay.
So,
Very good. I think it's good. We'll get that done. And I did see in the state legislature, they're talking about solar not being able to make restrictions on solar is kind of what was originally written. Unless you had something, I can't remember if that's the one, unless you had something in place by 12/31/25, which we have. So whether it passes or not, you don't know. Do you have any comments for us? Okay, very good. So we're going to talk in February about lot coverage, 35, 4,000. Okay, good. Very good. Thank you. Citizens' comments. Hearing none. I think we have that last motion. We're adjourned.